now we accept that there is life pervading everywhere in the universe. Now the sentient beings or the souls, let's say sentient beings, they're pervading everywhere in the universe. So all the Vedic rishis have already given a classification of that. Krishna has already given a classification. We have already classified all these living beings spread across the universe. Verse 16 to 18 in chapter 15. Again, it says, it brings that to our mind. Dva imo purusho loke, kshara akshara evacha, ksharaha sarvani bhutani, kutastaha akshara uchyate. Then it says, uttamaha purushastvanyaha paramatma iti udahurataha. The same guy is also called purushottama. Okay? So it says, all of the sentient beings in this world, they can be classified into three types. The kshara purushas, the kutastha akshara, which is only one, and the purushottama, who is higher than two. Okay. So the question is, who are these kshara and akshara purushas? Now, I've just taken some evidence from Paramashruti and Skanda Puran, for example. So Paramashruti, for example, we say, Brahma, Shivaha, Rudradayashta, Sharira, Ksharanat, Ksharaha. So that word becomes important. Sharira, Ksharanat, Ksharaha. So that gives you a definition of what a Kshara is. Kshara is those jivas that have a perishable body. And it starts from Chaturbaka Brahma to the lowest of the bacteria. They all have perishable bodies. So they are called Kshara Purushas. Okay? Because they are, Jadas also come into the group. The material things also come into the group. Because a pot, for example, is also destroyed. It becomes a mud. In that sense, it gets destroyed. So all the Jadas and also the jivas that are there in this universe, they all become Kshara Purushas. Then there is another one, Lakshmi. If you look at Paramashruti, it says Lakshmi Aksharad Hatvad Aksharaha Tat Paro Hari. So Lakshmi is who? Kshara Dehatvad Aksharaha. She has a body, but her body is indestructible. It does not get destroyed. So that is why she is called Kutasto Aksharaha. Okay. Skanda Puran also captures the same thing. Brahma, Shiva, Suparna, Isha, Shakra, Surya, Guhadayaha, Sarve Kshara, Aksharatu, Shri Ekaha, Tat Paro Harihi. Clear definition of who is what. There cannot be any arguments on this. So these are Kshara, and then you have Akshara. Then you have the Purushottama, who is the Supreme Being himself, who is beyond all this. Now, even that Supreme Being is also described in the Vedas and the Upanishads as Akshara. So that is a different reason why he is also described as Akshara. For example, if you go to Mundaka Upanishad, and we discussed this in the very first class about Paravidya and Aparavidya. So there it came as Atapara Yaya Tad Aksharam Adigamyate. That body of scriptures that give us the knowledge of the Supreme is Paravidya. Okay. Mandukya Upanishad, very first verse, Om iti etad aksharam idam sarvam tasya upavyakhyanam. It says Om iti etad aksharam. That Om is this aksharam. This aksharam is this Brahman. This Brahman is this Supreme Being. And it goes on and talks about the significance of Om and so on. So what does that mean to summarize this slide? So Akshara, so Kshara means jivas. Okay. So jivas that have perishable bodies are called ksharas. Now, when the jivas shed their material bodies and reach liberation and they go to moksha, they have body, but that body is indestructible. So when they have attained moksha, then they also become Akshara Purushas. But they become Akshara Purushas only having been a Kshara Purusha before. Akshara Lakshmi has never had that situation. Vishnu is an Akshara, but he is an independent Akshara. His body never has any destruction, but he is an independent being. Lakshmi is dependent on him. Now, the word Akshara, again, the etymology of Akshara itself is very interesting. It says, Akshoti iti Aksharaha. He who is omnipotent and omnipresent and who knows everything is Aksharaha. You can separate that Aksharaha into Aksharaha. Ksharaha means destructible, means opposite, so indestructible. Then the other one is Aksha plus Ra. Aksha means your indriyas, your sense organs. Ra means he who is in your sense organs and enjoying your sense organs is called Aksharaha. Then you can also carry on splitting this word, because Sanskrit is such a beautiful language. You can take it into plus ksha plus ra. The whole of the Sanskrit language has got 51 letters, starting with A and finishing with ksha. So all letters are put together form the Vedas. So the whole of the Vedas describe the supreme being, and when you know that, you get Ananda. Ra is Ananda. Yeah, Ramayati. Ra is Ananda. So again, it gives you all those various meanings. It's almost like, for example, you may be familiar with something called Kabbalah. Yeah, in Christian philosophers, they use this technique. The Jews, when they read the Torah, they use this technique called the Kabbalah, Kabbalic interpretation of the Torah, of the Jewish text in Hebrew, where they split and move the words here and there and get different philosophical meaning. So our Vedic philosophers have been doing this even before many of the other philosophers evolved, is almost like a Kabbalic interpretation of what Akshara means. So this slide gives you the overarching classification of Kshara, Akshara, and Purushottama.
HinduKnowledgeAcademy.com will celebrate Vedic culture and present its philosophies to the modern Hindu in an accessible format. Our ancient heritage is our greatest strength. Through preservation and dissemination, together let us spread positivity in the world. Thank you for listening and welcome to Hindu Knowledge Academy.